welcome back to our channel. If you're new to the channel, thank you for coming back for another video. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back regardless. Today we have a few things that we're going to be discussing. One of those being planting out the rest of our summer crops. We do have some transplants that we're putting in, peppers, but these are tomatoes that were started, I think, like towards the end of June, and it's time for them to go in. We have about 100 days to our first frost, and that is on November 13th. Before we even get further into today's video, I totally forgot. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at EBLLCINC, and on TikTok at Project Great. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. I just said that. Don't forget to click the bell in the left or right corner of your screen to be notified when we drop new videos, which is every single week. So we have these tomatoes. They are, I think we have Roma and cherry tomatoes. Since the big beef tomatoes will take longer to actually grow and produce actual fruit, and by the time they do, we won't have enough like heat in the weather for them to actually do that. So we just have smaller varieties of tomatoes for right now until next summer, well, next spring. Okay, in a minute I'm going to bring you guys closer to actually see what's being planted. This area previously had cucumbers, which you see right here beside me. These are the old cucumbers that started to die. They produce very well. I believe like we actually harvested over 50, probably close to 100 cucumbers this whole season from this one area, which is awesome. This year we did very well with growing cucumbers. I'm happy about that. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just pouring this water for the plants. Okay, what I'm thinking, put peppers here in the middle. We're just gonna let this one go. Okay, so we'll have peppers in the middle. Then we'll have these tomatoes here in the back. And then in the front here, we're gonna put beans. This will be our last round of bush beans. We had bush beans here. They're still growing, as you can see here. So we still have bush beans growing on this vine. We do have morning glory here too. Morning glory is a very annoying pest to have. Oh, look at that big bean. I didn't see this morning when I was harvesting. That's nice. I think I'll just leave that there to harvest the seed from it. But yeah, we have beans here, and so we want this area to have the last round of beans for the season. We have other areas in the garden where we're cleaning up and removing weeds, and we're gonna be planting direct sowing lettuce and snap peas very soon. So we'll show that in a video later on this month. But now let's get these plants in the ground. we have 4 different varieties of beans that we're planting today, well, this evening. These 2 varieties, I don't know what they are because they were donated. So those are mystery beans. They're like a reddish burgundy black bean. They're very pretty to look at, very nice color. And then we have these burpee seeds. These are the garden bean, the Triumph de Farsi. And then we have the big kahuna green bean. So we're gonna plant all of these varieties. There's only a few of each variety in my hand. So we're gonna just plant the rest of them and we'll order some more. And maybe we'll save some more as well. Okay guys, this area has been planted. This is like only the first thing that you can do now in August if you have a long growing season like we do here in Georgia. So we have our last round of peppers and tomatoes in the ground. Hopefully we get at least 1 harvest from them. But yeah, the only way we'll find out is if we try. Oh, that's a big bird. And we have our last round of beans right here in front of me. They will sprout in the next 7 to 10 days. And these varieties, at least the Triumph de Farsi and the Big Kahuna, they sprout, well, we can harvest in the next 60 days. And again, we have roughly 100 days until our first frost. So I am going to go home now, but you will see me in day 2. And we'll be discussing the crops that you can start right now in August and the other tasks that you need to take care of before we get closer to September. So we're gonna do some movie magic and we'll see you in day 2. Hey guys, Eric here in the school garden. It's day 2. I promise you guys I will be back here in the garden to start some new seeds. That is something that you should be starting or planning to start very soon. We are in the 2nd week of August. So here in Atlanta, Georgia, our frost will most likely be on November 13th. We could get it sooner than the November 13th, but that's the date that we have right now. And we have a few crops already growing and we'll be transitioning them into the school garden very soon. We also have more Swiss chard and collards right here. But you want to be thinking about the different crops that you can be growing right now. We're gonna go ahead and pull out our brassicas, which are here. We won't be doing any leafy vegetables right now besides the Swiss chard and the collards. We will start some kale. I think those seeds are in here, so we'll pull out those seeds. But any of the lettuces that we have in our container here, our seed container, we won't start those until September, and we will direct sow those. Direct sowing just means that you are taking the seed and you're putting it directly where you want the plant to grow. So we're going to put these lettuce seeds, we're going to direct sow them directly into the row right behind us where we have our tomatoes, and that will be where the lettuce will grow and we'll harvest. Once the garden sessions do begin next semester, the students will be starting more lettuce so that we can have a succession of harvest. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and plant. As you can see, the sun is going down, so I'm gonna go ahead and plant the plants that we want to start today, and we'll be back once we're done. All right, we are done. It took about 15 minutes to complete this, but we have Brussels sprouts, early golden acre cabbage, Copenhagen market early cabbage, Rapini broccoli rabe, early snowball white cauliflower, which these were the last seeds of this variety, premium late flat Dutch cabbage, golden beauty Chinese cabbage, the michihi, hopefully I pronounced that right, michihi Chinese cabbage, lacinato kale, or aka dinosaur kale, and our red Russian kale. We're going to make sure that we take care of these and keep these watered for the next week and a half until they germinate, and then once they get this size, like the Swiss chard and collards, we will begin to keep an eye on them and keep an eye on how many true leaves they have. Once they have the first 2 or 3 true leaves, we will up pot them into their own container. I'm thinking we'll most likely put these out into the school garden roughly the 3rd or 4th week of September. By then we will still have enough time, hopefully, fingers crossed, to actually harvest most of these plants. We'll harvest from most of these plants. I do believe if we can at least get these plants in even before the 3rd week of September, that will increase our chances of actually harvesting from this first round of fall crops. So fingers crossed, and good planning always allows you to maximize your harvest. So that's why I was suggesting earlier in the video, in this day 2 part, to always plan ahead, because as you're planning ahead, your mind is already set for any inconveniences that may happen during the process of you getting the garden ready for the fall season.